Stupid.
She wasn't giving it.
Yeah. It's the same delay coming in as it will be going out, like a good 30 seconds or so.
Cool. All right. Yep. So
All right. So, and then bring us to standby.
Ready whenever. Hey, what is poppin' my Zudes? It is ZUDECAST 107. What a trip, man. What a time to be alive here. We got someone joining us here, returning to the country here. Welcome back to America. Quentin NoliBois. How you doing, man?
Thank you, sir. It's good to be back. I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
I appreciate it, bro. I'm very stoked to have you, bro. We've never said anything bad about anybody French, so we need to...
Not once.
It's time for a little bit of a cultural, what's the word? Training, I guess, or diversity training.
Diversity training.
It's the first time for everything. You know?
Yeah.
You can bring that mic up real close. Get up all in that.
Closer the
Perfect.
better.
Yeah, much better.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Can you guys tell that we spend a bunch of money on equipment?
Yeah, we got
Fucking
to
sound different, bro.
Yeah, we do. We do actually. It sounds quite nice, dude. Get that
Yeah.
octopre, just 8 tentacles of sound just coming through. Focus right. We're getting our focus right. We're getting in our bag in 2024, dude. Absolutely.
2024
Hell yeah.
vision.
Fuck yeah, man.
Actually, that's probably less than perfect vision. 24 vision.
That's
Do you
still
want to watch
pretty
the
good.
curtain behind you real quick too?
So
Just,
what?
it's like caught on your chair. Yeah, you're good. You're good.
Never mind.
We don't have other
our
rooms
tiny
here.
room.
Shh, be quiet.
You're good.
See,
right
when
there.
NPR's got a tiny room, it's fucking quaint and cute. When we have a tiny room, it's ghetto and lame. It's all good.
Oh yeah. So you just got back from France. You're that's where you're from originally, right?
Yeah, I've been in the U.S. for, this is going to be 10 years now.
Yeah.
And so I try to go back every year, see my family, see my friends. Just been 2 weeks, went to Paris, saw my parents, my hometown mess, a little fuck down that nobody really cares about. And spent a little time in London too, and visit my siblings down in Lyon. I love coming back to France as much as I can, but it's always good to be back in California, man.
That's good. That's good. Glad to hear it, man. So you lived here 10 years now. How old are you? When did you first come over? What was that like?
I'm 33. I first came here. I was an exchange student at San Jose State back in 2011. I spent a year there, met my wife when I was in college, and then came back to France, graduated college, and then moved back immediately. That was like in 2014. So yeah, right on 10 years. And haven't left since, man.
Cool.
Nice.
Cool. Yeah.
Your wife French as well?
No, she's from San Jose. Well,
Oh, okay, so yeah.
she wouldn't like me saying it. She's from San Francisco.
Okay.
She lived in San Jose.
From the Bay.
Yeah, she's a Bay Area girl, 100%.
Hell yeah, man.
That's real. So you were a stand-up comedian too. I saw you first at the Punchline. I think I want to say like maybe last September or November, somewhere around then, dude. Love your stuff, killer stuff. How long you been doing that?
Not that long. I think it's gonna be. We're coming up on like a year and a half, something like that. So it's just been so cool, man. Like the Sacramento comedy scene is so great. So many comics told me this before, and I really agree. It's like probably one of the best cities to start comedy in because people are not. It's not 50,000 comics trying to make it,
Right.
Yeah.
So people are still chill. There's not that much money to be made in Sacramento in comedy at first anyway.
Or anything.
Yeah. So it's like, it's pretty chill. Everybody's pretty friendly. No one's
Right.
just like jealous and shit like that. So it's just a fun scene,
For I think all entertainment in Sacramento, basically everybody's on an equal footing and that everybody's fucking broke, destitute.
There's like, there's nothing to steal from each other. You
Right.
know what I mean? So,
Right, yeah. You stole my 5-minute spot.
Oh yeah, my $50 and 2 beers, like
Yeah.
I'll be all right.
Yeah, where the fuck are my drink tickets? That's really what it's all about, is fighting over drink tickets.
Basically,
That's the life.
Which is hilarious because half the scene is like sober or in recovery, Right. So they're like, I get 3 drink tickets. Awesome. I'm
Right.
really gonna enjoy those 3 lemonades.
Yeah, right. Half the scene is sober and half the scene probably should be.
Yeah, they're getting there.
They will eventually get there at one point or another.
At least we're hoping for
Yeah, right.
Oh yeah. So how'd you get into it too? Like how'd you get started? Like what made you want to finally just like jump into the scene?
Well, I've always wanted to do it, even when I was a kid back in France, you know. But by the time I graduated college, I left for the U.S. right away, right? And my English was good, you know, but it was not good enough that I'd be comfortable getting on stage and telling jokes and all that, you know. So it took me a while to kind of like build up my English, build up the courage, and then I took some classes at the comedy spot, like comedy classes, just a good way to have someone push you on stage, start doing your shit, and just kind of get over the fear. And yeah, it's been dope. Just been hitting mics since, and yeah, like when you saw me at Punchline, I feel like that's kind of when I started getting booked a little more. Now it's happening a little more. So yeah, I think 2024 is gonna be a fun year, man.
Well, that's good, man. I'm glad we're able to catch you on the come up. You feel me, bro? It's good. I'm glad, bro. It's exciting
That's
stuff.
my first podcast, so I'm happy to be
Hey.
here, man.
That's the Zudecast move. That's what we do. Is we're just like, all right, we're
talent
We're getting,
scalpers.
yeah. We'll be like,
So I'm here
Zudecast did it first. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Exactly.
So what you said you've been into it since you were a kid. Like, are there any like French stand-up comedians that give us some game on the French comedy scene? What's up with that?
Oh, for sure. So there's like this guy called Jamel Debbouze. He was like this North African guy in Paris who was like a very popular comic. And French comedy, like historically, has been like old white guys, you know, just being a little clever and whatnot. But he kind of brought the comedy from the streets onto like the mainstream, you know. And so he opened this comedy club called the Jamel Comedy Club in Paris, that was kind of bringing like immigrants and kids who grew up in the hood and shit like that, just more like popular you know, working class kind of like comedy. So that really got me into it. And then there was this guy called Dieudonné who got in trouble for turning a little anti-Semitic, but his early stuff is good. He kind of did a Dave Chappelle, but against the Jews.
It
Like,
happens to the best of us. Yeah. He's like, oh, you're gonna give me shit about this? Well, I'm gonna make 3 more specials about it.
yeah, he made his entire career about it, and then ended up having to perform in like minivans and shit like that. And now I think he's hitting in a bunker somewhere or something.
Damn. Like a certain somebody else who was anti-Semitic.
Funny how that works, you know.
All roads lead to the bunker.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's crazy, dude.
That's real though. So were you getting out? Like, did you like go to a lot of like shows and stuff as a teenager or stuff like that, or just more so just you were just into it as a culture thing?
Well, you know, like back then you had to buy the DVDs and shit. You know, a lot of the stand-up comedy you had to go see in Paris, which I'm not from, so I didn't grow up watching a lot of shows, you know, but I also grew up like right around the time where YouTube started becoming a thing and people started posting clips and shit like that. So that's really when I'm just downloading shit on Pirate Bay and stuff like, you know.
Which we would never advocate.
No, for sure.
Comcast, don't at me. When in France is it a mix of French speaking, English speaking, or is it like, I mean, in the comedy scene specifically, is it mostly French language?
Yeah,
for the most part,
it's 100% French,
right?
You know,
okay.
So like people will speak French, maybe a little Arabic, like just Arabic slang that people, you know, even if you're white, grew up like in a hood, like you kind of know some Arabic, like to some extent,
right.
Now it's a little different. Like in Paris, they have like a bunch of English-speaking comedy clubs where people go and do comedy uniquely in English, but that's like because there's just so many expats there now, you know, so many British people, so many Americans that are there, and so there's like a scene for that. But like the French scene, if you start speaking English, you're gonna lose half the fucking audience.
Right. Yeah. Like you're gonna lose them in the sense that they just don't know what you're saying, or you lose them in the sense that they're like, fuck you, speak French.
Both. You're gonna lose one half for that and the other half for the other thing. They're very proud of the language, and then like French people just notorious for speaking shit English also.
Right. Well, so because like from my very limited understanding, that's sort of a thing where it's like that's like a point of pride where it's like, no, like we speak French.
Oh yeah, like I know some dudes who got like a master's degree, got like crazy education, learned English for like 20 years, and they're just refusing to use the accent. They'll be like, can I have a drink and a burger? I'm like, dude, you went to college for 6 years. Like, you should not sound like that, you know? But it's their thing, man. That's why people are like, wow, your English is so good. I'm like, no, I just try, you know?
I was gonna say, I feel like you have like a mix of like the California accents, like a bit too in there with the. So I'm like, this is a trip.
Well, you know, my wife's Bay Area, her whole family's Bay Area, and so she introduced me. They told me everything I needed to know. You know, I joined her family. They're like, here's your Niners hat, here's your Warriors hat, here's your Giants hat.
You say hella now.
Yeah, no, you say hella. And I remember one time I went to New York, and someone was like, oh, from California, huh? And I was like, oh my God. Like, you didn't even notice I was French.
Right. That's just how New Yorkers think of California.
They're
like, look at this guy, but you're old. Yeah.
He says hella. And yeah, exactly.
That's funny, man.
That's real. So you said what part of France are you from originally?
It's this city called Metz, M-E-T-Z. Small city, beautiful cathedral. It's in northeast of France, kind of like an hour away from Germany, something like that. Okay. Weird place to grow up in. This is basically the region that gets invaded by Germany whenever we go to war with each other.
Real.
So like every time there's a war, we're like the first ones to eat shit. You know. So like you all grow up with like pretty much a deep hatred for German people, you know, because they invaded your shit. But then at the same time, it's like the war's over now. Everybody needs to find good paying jobs. So like you go to school and the second language you learn after English is German. And you fucking hate it. You know, your parents are like fucking Germans, and then they're like, but you better do good on your German homework, you know? It's confusing.
Yeah, I bet. It's like a whole cultural system there. Like, it's kind of similar to how there's like U.S. and there's like, oh, those Mexicans and like, you know, the Canadians. Like, we feel like our certain way about our neighbors. Like, I'm sure there's a whole thing going on over there.
For sure.
It's not like they didn't fight a bunch of fucking wars about it.
I mean, yeah, like you guys have like maybe gone at war a little less with Canada and Mexico than we have over 1,400 years.
Right. Yeah.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Yeah, just a little
well, because now it's like in America, it's more just about like race than it is about ethnicity or
Culture.
like culture.
country, like nationalism's a bad thing over here.
Because now it's just like oh, if you're white, you're white, and it's like. Yeah, but it's like they were all fucking pretty pissed at each other. Like it's not like because now it's just like French, Italian, German, whatever, Russian. It's like you're all just white, and it's like I'm pretty sure they all fought a big ass war about this, like definitively to say no, these guys aren't white or whatever.
Oh, and we talk mad shit to each other all the time. You know, there's like. People always get kind of weirded out. I'm like fucking Italians or that's such a fucking German thing to say, and people are just looking at me like, what? It's like it's not all just white people. I'm like,
right.
It is, but but we are allowed our little internal racism as well, you know.
Right. Yeah, it's more like a nationality type of thing than like a color type of thing.
Yeah.
That type of shit is very American.
Yeah.
To be more obsessed with like the pigmentation rather than like the actual like cultures and things. But that's kind of what like but that's what makes Europe so interesting too, where it's like every country is the size of basically one U.S. state.
Yeah.
Or smaller than a lot of them. You know, like California could fit. Whatever.
Yeah, France
Germany
is about the size of California, more or less. Like,
okay, yeah. So it's like roughly like one state or less, and it's like the rivalry is much stronger, and that's why I think soccer or football, whatever, is such a big deal because like we don't get it in America. We're like, what's the fucking deal? This guy's from Pittsburgh. This guy's from fucking Cincinnati. What's the big like? It's not as much of a real deep seated hatred as it is between like European countries.
Oh yeah, like the Champions League where all the big city clubs play against each other and whatnot, and they're all just like love their club so much. It's like. All your players are African. Like, we're all having fun. Like, your national pride is not at play here, all right?
Right. Yeah, I mean, that's the same with basketball and football pretty much in America, too. It's like, it's like, these are American. It's like, yes, but it's, you know, it's all about what's the word?
What's the word, Chris?
It's what's it called? Damn, I really can't think of it.
The spirit of the game.
It's the spirit of the game.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's just like a rivalry, you know. Like everybody wants to be able to say we're the best ones. You know
Right.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Right. Which country does France have the most beef with, like, these days, or in general? Like, which one? That's safe to say.
Honestly, it probably the UK.
Okay.
It's like always this pissing contest between the two countries of like who's the coolest, who's the most arrogant. You know what I mean? So like the
Right.
British think we're too arrogant, we think they're too arrogant. They think they're the coolest shit, we think they're the coolest shit. You know,
Hey, I just want to
their
say,
food sucks, our food's great. You
Right.
know, it's like
Dude, I always hear that about the UK. I don't know how much time you've spent in like
A little
in the
bit.
UK. Like, okay, but it's like, what was the food experience like there?
oh, the food fucking sucks. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, there's good food in the UK. It's
Right.
just not British food. You know what I mean?
Right, you can get a great tikka masala or whatever.
Oh yeah,
or,
Indian food in the UK
yeah.
is fucking insane.
Chinese food's probably schmacking. Yeah,
Yeah.
all the like, yeah. Arabic, anything like that, it's probably fucking delicious. But then it's like, what is like the staple of British food is just like
Fucking beans.
Yeah, beans.
You know,
I got
fucking-
beans and bologna. Yeah.
anything that you'd put on a plate and be like, hell no, I'm definitely not eating that.
Right.
That's
All right,
probably a
got-
British food.
Gotta ask, escargot, what's the deal?
Butter.
Butter, is it good?
Yeah.
Yeah?
It's basically, it's, you know, like the escargot is just like a tiny bit of the thing, and the rest is just fucking garlic and butter.
Right,
And so that makes it good, you know,
Yeah.
like butter always does, you know.
I feel
That's true.
See,
That's-
I like eating bugs, bro. I like them chocolate covered crickets. You feel me, bro? It just tastes like
I never
Kit Kats.
tried that. Is that good?
It tastes like Kit Kats, bro. It's cool.
You could cover anything in chocolate
Right.
or deep fry anything, and it's fucking good. You can deep fry a fucking 9-volt battery, and I'd be down.
Yeah.
Fucking. Well, yeah, that is kind of just the equivalent. It's just like, just put butter and garlic on
Oh
it.
yeah,
It's good.
People
It's the same
always
as
ask
deep
me
fry.
like, "Oh, why is French food so good?" Because they put butter in every fucking thing. Like you just double the amount of butter that you would put in a regular
Right.
dish, and
Man.
that makes it French.
Sounds like I'd shit myself. I'm lactose intolerant, man.
Oh yeah, you're not gonna do well.
I'm not gonna do
Yeah.
well out there.
You got to go to the olive oil countries. You got to go.
Oh,
to,
I know. Yeah,
Yeah.
the fetaverse, basically.
Right. You
Even
can
though
do
it's
the-
still cheese.
I don't think you're allowed to be lactose intolerant in France. Actually,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's illegal to drag me away.
Yeah,
I think
they're
they're
like, "Well, sucks to be you, buddy."
Yeah, they're lactose intolerant.
exactly.
Hell yeah. Well, fuck. I mean, nice to know I'll be persecuted for my genetic conditions.
Ah, dude, you and so many other people. Like I was just thinking. I was in Paris. You know, I'm always looking at public transit there because you know, it's nice to just be able to take the subway, go places and whatnot. And then every time I go, I'm like, if you're in a wheelchair in Paris, you might as well just end your life right now because you're not going anywhere. Like nothing is fitted for you.
Damn,
Like
all cobblestone.
Oh, dude, there's no escalators, no elevators. Like,
Right.
like that's your subway stop. Like,
Right.
you're fucked because
Right.
that's only like 2 flights of stairs to get out of there. You know,
That's crazy.
Well, that's back in the day when they're like, you got cerebral palsy, time to take you out back, man. Sorry.
Them to get on the farm. Yeah, exactly.
You're telling me France, the whole country, is less ADA compliant than fucking Epstein Island? That's crazy.
Absolutely, dude. They've got apartment complexes over there. They've got apartment buildings that have 7 floors and no elevator, bro.
Wow.
So-
I would hate to be a fucking DoorDash driver out
dude.
there, dude.
they leave it out front, dude.
Yeah.
That's real. Hey, I just want to say, too, I saw your guillotine tattoo there,
Oh,
bro.
yeah.
Can we check that out? Oh, here, hold on. Turn it a bit. There you go. It's a little awkward. That's real. Bro, that's hard.
I got that one just last year. I'm gonna get a king on this side, and the equation will be complete.
Yeah, man.
Put them together and
Yeah, exactly.
Nice.
It's just like,
Yeah.
fusion.
That's real.
That almost looks like it would be a boss in that game, Cuphead.
Yeah.
That was kind of Cuphead wasn't the inspiration, but that whole
Oh, yeah,
you
that-
know
the rubber hose
the
kinda
rubber hose
style, yeah.
Yeah, there's
Okay.
these guys called the Dudes. That's like the T-shirt I got here. They make like
nice.
a lot of art and all that out of Amsterdam and London, and the whole aesthetic is that like rubber hose. And I thought it
Nice.
was really cool. And they're always animating objects and shit like that. I was like, oh, let me see if they have like a guillotine one. I looked everywhere, I couldn't find it, so I got some chick in San Francisco to do it, and
Nice.
she was like, "That's a cool project."
Yeah, that rules.
That's real, man.
We were just talking a little bit about guillotines before the show, and you brought up an interesting fact about the last man to be guillotined was in like 1970 something.
Yeah.
And I looked it up, dude. This story is fucking crazy, dude.
Oh yeah, let's see.
Hamida Jandoubi was a Tunisian convicted murderer sentenced to death in France. And so this was in 1977. Because when you think guillotine, you're thinking like, yeah, French Revolution.
Yeah.
And then they're like, all right, we should probably cool it. And then it's like, no, give it another 150 years or whatever. They're still doing it. But dude, this guy was, he was not having a good time in the fucking, with the old legs because he was born in 1949. Where he worked in a grocery store. He later worked as a landscaper, but had a workplace accident in 1971. His leg got caught in the tracks of a tractor, resulting in the loss of 2/3 of his right leg.
Man, how do you go on to be like a serial murderer with like 2/3 of one leg, bro? That's some straight like a hash slaying slasher type shit, bro. Yeah.
Dedication. That's all.
Yeah.
Nothing but blind fury and
willpower.
rage, bro.
And yeah, he like met. See, so he was like trying to rizz up this chick that he met while he's like recovering from his amputation, and then he like kills her.
That's wild.
That's pretty
That's
wild.
pretty
Yeah, I don't know.
crazy
I don't know
stuff.
the whole details.
Man, I'll give him the guillotine myself.
Yeah,
They were like, "Yeah, this seems appropriate." You know.
he's Tunisian, and
They're
he's
like, we're gonna stop, but I think he needs it. I think he needs it.
One last one.
Yeah,
All
one last one for old time's sake.
right. You know.
his alias was Pimp Killer.
Oh my god,
So that was the last.
he ain't gonna catch me. That's for sure.
That was the last guillotine experience in France, at least on the books.
And what we're saying is that like. I think the reason why is that they abolished the death penalty, and because it's not even they
it's
want
not
to.
even- they
It's not
stopped
even like, yeah, the guillotine. They were like, no, we're just gonna stop killing people, so we're gonna put it away. Like,
Right.
you know, you
And
gotta
a-
respect that.
They
But
just
in
like put it away. They're just like, I'm sorry.
Just can't do it anymore.
They put a tarp over, and they're like,
No,
one day.
we got the electric chair though, bro.
Yeah.
That's American, bro. That's like, oh my
Yeah.
god, that shit's so ugly, bro. They're just like,
Oh, dude.
Yeah, we don't know when to quit. American ingenuity. We're like,
Oh, man.
they're like, we've got 17 other methods we already came up with. And what do you want? Poison? What do you want? Electric chair? Just solitary confinement? Starve you to death? Whatever. I guess it depends on the state these days with the old death penalty.
And I love that they said. I think they said, you know, they started doing the poison because they thought it was like more humane, you know.
Right.
But then like some guys survived from it, and they're like, it felt like fire was running through my veins until like that. Is like, it doesn't sound much better, to be honest.
No one survives the electric chair. I don't think there's been any electric chair survivors. Like,
Well, you
fuck,
just keep
turn
it
on.
running till it's
Yeah.
over,
Well,
right?
that's the
Like,
thing.
fucking-
Yeah, they just, I mean, you'll survive halfway, and then they're just like, oh,
Right.
switch it again.
It's like the microwave. You're like, put it back in for another 30 seconds. Flip it over. It's the air
it's a
fryer.
little cold on the inside.
Right.
We had some chats real quick too, just super quick. Yeah, just some little ones. Just want to say thank you because I know there was Rita Fajita, my sister, said, "What is up, my Zudes? How?"
Oh, what is up?
And then someone said, "What's up to Quentin as well?" So appreciate y'all for tuning in. Appreciate
on.
Quentin for coming on, bro. Super stoked to have you again,
Yeah,
bro.
it's fun to be here. I appreciate you guys had the beers ready and everything.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I'm glad this worked out in February. I was doing dry January, and you guys were like, "Oh, you want to come in tomorrow?" And I'm like, "Oh, I see you guys have beers on the show." I'm like, I don't want to miss out on that.
Dude, we don't always have beers on the show, but we usually have beers on the show.
every clip I've seen, there was a beer somewhere.
Yeah. I know, dude. We need to get fucking sponsored, man. I know, like, you know, the Sesh, they're getting fucking sponsored by Yerba. I mean, that's
Oh,
the
I
other
know.
That's the
I
other
u-
main thing we're drinking all the time, dude.
I used to work for Yerba too, so I need to be like, hey, listen up, fuckers. I know I quit, but
I know I no-showed.
I know I walked out and called the boss a bitch, but you need to sponsor my podcast.
Yeah.
I mean, there's hella like microbreweries around here, you know. Maybe
man.
you get like a Zude beer brewed somewhere. You know?
Yeah, man. Or we were saying Alien Labs too, bro, because it's the zoo. It's Alien Labs weed, bro. We gotta get the cross promotion going, bro.
Fuck yeah.
Let us know.
Dude, yeah, I know. I wish we could get a Yerba promotion, or even just some free Yerbs would be nice. You know, take a little bit out of the budget. That's 95% of our budget is just Yerbs and beer.
It would help. I like Yerba. It's just
Hey.
a nice, clean caffeine.
Shout out,
you know?
yeah, nice clean high. It's like a good, fucking, you know, because that's right out in Sebastopol. is where they make the yerbs, dude. Guyaki is in Sebastopol.
The Guayaki Bukkake.
Shameless plug. I'm gonna be in Sebastopol on the 23rd. I'm gonna be playing at Hop Monk over there. So catch us.
Oh, we got a rock star
the
over
Gold
here.
Souls and Boot Juice
Boot
at
juice.
Hop Monk.
Yeah.
Yeah, shout out Hop Monk. I was there just before I left for Friends did our open mic there. It's a cool
nice.
ass spot, dude. It's
Yeah,
really nice.
Yeah, it's a really cool spot. Sebastopol's a cool little hippie town too. It's fun. I was just over like that way in like sort of like Petaluma area or whatever yesterday, hanging out with my girl, fucking eating lots of seafood, eating lots of overpriced.
Is that what they call it these days? Seafood?
The only thing I'll say to Hop Monk is like that's my personal grievance with them is like the open mic starts 30 minutes before the music show ends. So it's like everybody's obviously going to be listening to music rather than listen to some open micers, you know. So
Right.
like, push it 30 minutes, guys.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Get the crowd.
Yeah,
rotation.
transfer, you know, exactly.
Right.
What's been some of your favorite places that you've done shows at?
Well, Punchline Sack obviously is dope. It's hella fun. Comedy Spot, they just got the best audience for an open mic in Sacramento. It just every time if you're feeling low, you need like some self-validation, you know, you just go up at Comedy Spot. The audience, they're always pretty cool as long as you're not an asshole. We really like Front Street Studio. That was like back in so they just shut down, unfortunately.
Right. That's what I heard about that. Yeah.
But that one was fun because it was open, you know, it was like kind of like half inside, half outside. You'd always get some randos just kind of like walking in after a few beers or whatever. And
Yeah, that was super cool. I went a couple times to that, and it was just like, I don't know, it was a vibe. I can understand why. I mean, I'm sure any piece of real estate in Old Sac is probably ridiculous to maintain, especially when it's just, you know, for arts purposes. Forget about it.
Yeah, and this guy Dennis who was running it, you know, that was kind of like a non-profit like art space, and so, you know, not a for-profit guy, business guy, so he was just really trying to help out the community and whatnot. So, you know, shout out to Dennis, really cool guy.
Shout out. Helping out the community, man. I mean, we all know how that goes.
Fucking nowhere. I don't know.
You gotta sell merch, dude.
You gotta. What's your plan? What's your 5-year plan?
Yeah,
I see no growth.
How many followers you got, bro? The ZUDECAST is for profit, but
As it should be.
maybe one day.
Best way to last. You know?
Yeah. The trick is you have to try and make money.
Yeah.
That's
this is America, man.
That's the tough part.
You want to help people? Just get the fuck out of here, man.
Is that one of the biggest? What's the biggest difference between American culture and French culture? Would you say?
I just say, what's the biggest culture? The driving, definitely. You can't. If you don't have a car in America, you're fucked. You know?
Right.
Yeah.
In France, I'd say definitely more walking and taking a bus and all that. That's one thing. The other, I'd say, is like for us, it's just bigger. It's changing now, but in France, bigger workers' rights culture, you know, really protecting employees and shit like that. America, pretty much the opposite of that.
Yeah?
Yeah. Right. But, you know, give it 5 years and we'll see if I have the same speed. They're definitely getting some pointers over there, dude. I'll tell you.
Yeah. The fucking the truckers are back at it again, dude. In New York, they're going ham. The truckers for Trump, bro. They were trying to. I don't even know if this is gonna happen or if they kind of back down off it already, but. You know, because we talked about that when it was the whole Canadian truckers, and they were like, you know, it was like a huge boycott or whatever for like a couple weeks, and it was pretty crazy. But now it's I don't know. They're trying to do a 7-day boycott of like stopping deliveries in New York City, which is pretty wild.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see how that. I think that's like supposed to be starting right about now. Like, I think,
What's the reason? Like, why are they doing it?
I don't know exactly. I think it's probably they want to get paid more.
They're
I
doing
guess,
it to make America great again.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's always what they fucking fall back on.
Hey man, 2023 you've seen more people go on strike and kind of take action, just trying to do their shit. You know,
Yeah.
I'm speaking my fucking communist like speech here,
Yeah.
but like fuck yeah, dude. You know, like I think people are starting to realize here it's like if you don't fight for your shit, then people are gonna be taking it from you. You know, so
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Well, like the AI shit. There was like the whole like screenwriters and the screen actors shit where it's like the industry's already fucking like Hollywood acting, movie production industry. We talked about this a while back too, where it's like it's just like a big bubble that's inflating, and they're like, well, let's just save costs by fucking everybody over. And it's like, you can't do that. That's not gonna work. That's not how an economy works. You can't just like fire all your fucking workers, because then it's like nobody's gonna consume your product again too, you know, so they don't fucking think, you know.
I agree.
There's a bigger problem there too, right? Because it's like, all right, say in like the case of art, right? They use all this derivative artwork to create the model, and then it generates art, and then that puts new artists out of work, and nobody's creating new art. So how does your model grow and evolve when nobody's making new art anymore? Like,
that's
because
what
you
they're
put 'em all
saying
out of
is
business.
that if you keep it going, eventually everything is just gonna look exactly the same. You're not gonna get anything new, right? And so I think they're gonna realize that, but they're gonna fuck a whole lot of people over before they do, you know. Yeah. And then they'll hire them back, be like, oh, sorry, you want your job back for 50% less,
Right.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Well, I think the big problem is that nobody's watching any of these movies anyways. I mean, Disney's had like how many bombs at this point? Like
dude.
like box office just tanking.
Well,
hella
dude,
bad.
they're like throwing money in other places now. They like invested money in like Fortnite and stuff too. It's like, what the fuck? You're gonna go ruin video games now too?
Oh,
I mean,
they're already trying, dude.
Yeah,
To
But,
be fair, Fortnite ruined itself.
for I was watching all these hilarious reviews of that new movie, like Madam
Web, yeah.
My God, I haven't seen it. I saw it was available on the plane already.
Is it a movie or is it a show?
It's a movie.
Oh, okay.
And
it looked like a fucking CW Marvel
just so
show when I
confusing.
saw. Yeah.
Yeah, but apparently it's like one of the biggest pieces of dog shit that's been produced in a long while. So
Well,
You're just saying that because it's a female lead.
You know, bro, I'll say too that I watched like the Morbius movie or whatever at home on Netflix for free, and I was like, I didn't hate that. Like, it was definitely very bad, but I was like, I'm not like actively angry. If I paid money, I would be actively angry. So I'm so just morbidly curious about bad movies. I'm like, morbiously curious about bad movies, and I have to know. I have to know, you know, about like if it's how bad it is. So
I'm definitely gonna watch it too. I just wasn't high. It was on the plane already, which I think it just came out in the theater.
On the plane?
Oh,
Yeah,
damn,
it was
bro.
available on the plane. And I just wasn't high enough to watch it. You know, what I mean? Like, I have to be high to watch that shit and I appreciate it. You know?
Yeah, I've heard it's pretty fucking bad. I've heard it's like Final Destination with Terminator, and it's just really with CW level quality.
Like, just bad plot, or is it doing the suffering from the woke again?
Well, I've heard it's just like bad writing. Like a lot of shit just happens because it's like the script said it should happen, and then like all the performances are just like nobody gives a fuck. Like,
Yeah, I feel ya.
I mean, hey, it happens to the best.
And I
of
guess
us.
it got cut, like, it just got cut extremely bad.
Well,
like, apparently, like, the scenes.
the editing,
just, like,
yeah.
The editing is just, like, really terrible.
They're like, let's get this dog shit out. We just get this over with. Let's rip the Band-Aid off.
You guys should do a watching party of it. Or something.
Yeah, dude, I know. I'm trying to get more review stuff going too. We did Zudes reviews for a while.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that's fun. Fun
Fucking
stuff.
no, bro. I'm boycotting Marvel, dude. I'm done. I'm done. I forget I don't know which Marvel movie it was where I decided I was done. I think it was probably
Doctor Strange?
I think it was Doctor Strange 2.
Yeah, I took mushrooms and saw
Oh,
Doctor
yeah.
Strange too.
It could that couldn't even save it for me.
For me, it's like,
it
how
saved it for me.
how many times are we going to remake Spider-Man before they move on
Right.
to something more interesting? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, that's my problem with a lot of the Marvel stuff. It's like, all the stuff, it's like, let's remake the same story. It's like, have you looked into the Marvel universe? There's like enough stories for like a million movies. You don't have to redo the same fucking villains again and again.
And same with DC. DC's even worse with that. I mean, how many fucking
yeah.
Batmans have we had? Like 8?
Oh, something like that. Yeah, a lot.
Even just recently. But because it's like, aren't they still? I mean, because wasn't
There's like
Ben
the-
Affleck Batman still in the new? What was it? Like
I don't even
Beetle or
acknowledge
some
that
shit?
movie.
Yeah,
Like,
there was like the Ben Affleck one, and then there was like the Robert Pattinson one, and then like they're even worse. See, this is just indicative of the problem too, where like so many studios are just throwing shit at the wall, and they're like, we're hoping the brand is gonna carry it, but you can't do that. At least the Batman had like a lot of care putting into it for sure. Like it was a pretty solid movie.
Yeah.
Like it was nowhere near as bad as like Captain Marvel or like Madam Web or something, or like Morbius, like but you know, they just clearly don't know what the fuck they're doing, you know. So I don't know what to tell you guys at the executives, you know what I mean?
you
Like,
could say they lost the plot when it comes to plot writing.
Yeah.
that's a good one, dude. Yeah, man. Fucking, I think a big problem is that these movies take so long to make before they actually come out. They're like this was all the rage in 2020 was like, yeah, like female empowerment, like woke stuff, and then it's like the tide has turned and it's like, well, we still got to put the movie out. I don't know, it's already done. Like we gotta, it's then I don't know. They have to, like, by the time a cool relevant thing comes out, it's already going to be like 3 or 4 years too late. They're going to do an edgy Marvel movie again or something like that, but they're going to miss the boat.
That's my problem with a lot of like Netflix movies, where like I feel like they trying to stuff so much like Gen Z, millennial relevant shit.
Yeah,
that you just like watch it, you're like, what am I watching? You know, it's just like I'm a Gen Z, I say things like that, you know, and you're like, it just kind of like takes over the whole movie. When I could watch any movie and tell you within 5 minutes if it's a Netflix movie, you know what I mean?
There's a certain quality to it. It's it's like Hallmark movies have a quality, you know, Netflix movies have a quality.
I think that quality is being insulting to your intelligence. I think I figured out what it was just today. I'm like, yeah, it's like whatever. You can live your life, be woke. I don't care. I just won't watch the movie. But like, it's actively annoying because it's insulting to your intelligence because they have to go to such lengths to explain shit to people.
No,
like real. I get it. I'm not on fleek. I'm like Netflix movie.
It's like right, you're watching a fucking mob movie and he's just like, do you have any last words? And he's like, yeet.
It's giving execution.
Oh my god.
Hell yeah. Shit.
Following Tony Soprano around just being like, fix. Fuck, man.
Okay, hell yeah.
Things just aren't the same as they used to be, man. I feel like Lord of the Rings we'll never see something so like huge and high quality as Lord of the Rings. Well, they got a whole fucking country of Kiwis down for that shit, bro. Do you ever see for Lord of the Rings, like Peter Jackson went to, it was like in the middle of like a rugby game or whatever. You see that? Where it was like they needed the sound effects for like the orcs like chanting or whatever. They're like, they're like, yeah, we could just like take, 5 guys, different voices, and then just like copy paste it and do a bunch of different takes. But they're like, nah, they filled up an entire fucking football stadium. It was like in the halftime of a game or whatever. And then Peter Jackson comes out. He's like, I need you guys to get fucking hype. And they're like, oh no, like doing orc shit. I was like, they had that whole fucking country like on board, dude.
That's the surreal, best fucking country to get to do that too.
Put them on the map, dude.
Fuck yeah, man.
Yeah, and that was such a good like golden period between like practical effects and CGI was so new, so they like really like used it sparingly, but it was like really in the infancy of it being great though. Like it still had the ability, like Gollum still holds up. A lot of the orcs and like the trolls still hold up and stuff because they're also still using a lot of real stages and real lighting, real costumes.
The miniatures, bro.
The miniatures that are enhanced with CGI because they're just like super high detail.
Yeah, man. I don't know why. I was just going on a fucking nerd rabbit hole, just looking at like how they did all the like castles and like big ass,
Well, I'm glad because you didn't really watch those movies until like recently.
I didn't watch them like that much as a kid. Like I definitely watched like the first one, but I didn't have like a squad of Lord of the Rings like homies that we were like, oh, let's all watch all the fucking movies. I was more of a Star Wars guy.
Yeah, I feel it.
Honestly, the closest thing I've ever seen to Lord of the Rings vibe wise or aesthetic wise is actually Dark Souls. It's not even a movie, but
yeah.
I fuck with Dark Souls heavy.
Yeah, you play Dark Souls?
Oh, I'm a huge gamer.
Oh, nice, dude. Hell yeah.
It's probably my biggest pastime above all else.
Fuck yeah, dude. Yeah. What you into? What were you into as a kid, and what are you into now?
As a kid, Japanese RPGs, mostly. Now definitely anything from software, so all the Dark Souls.
Oh fuck yeah, dude. Okay.
Anything that will make me bang my head against the wall, I like challenging games. I play a lot of single player games. When I moved here, I just kind of like joined the corporate life right away, and I was working, and none of my friends played video games. And if I wanted to play online with my friends back home, I had to play in the middle of the day because of the time difference.
Yep.
So I ended up playing just a shit ton of single player games, and I go to bed pretty late, and my wife goes to bed pretty early, so that works out in my favor for that for that passion of mine.
Me too, man. I just fucking put I just pulled up video real quick. Well, I was just checking if we had any more comments. Fucking, what was I about to say? In my bedroom, like, so I used to have a bunch of music studio shit set up in my bedroom at home, and then we moved all the podcast stuff out from our dining room to here, and so now the dining room has like a lot of the music, and like that's like our editing station or whatever. So then I just turned my room into like a my
retro gamer
zone where it's
Hell
like
yeah.
9/11 never happened in this room. Like I have like a giant fucking 100-pound CRT TV, and I have like my fucking
dude.
PS2 games hooked up, dude. That's all I've been playing. I've been trying to get Sarah into the retro games, dude.
What are you playing right now?
I was playing some fucking I was playing like Castlevania games for like the PS2
yeah.
ones are like not even the good ones.
Symphony of the Night.
So that's the PS1. That's the classic. I mean, that's like one of the best ones. That's probably the best.
The best of all
At
time.
least of that style, you know.
Yeah. It defined the genre.
Yeah,
for sure.
that Metroidvania, like fucking walking around a big ass castle. All right, it's pee-pee time. Okay.
See, that's the escape room right
yeah,
there, bro.
right.
That's real.
Yeah, dude. I've just been like going back to a bunch of shit. I was like playing some San Andreas, dude. Playing
Oh,
some
dude,
fucking-
I know. Fucking
Yeah.
San Andreas, Vice City. For me, that was the big one. Vice City.
Yeah.
Vice City. Tommy Vercetti.
Yeah, man.
You know.
Such a fucking vibe.
It's like Ray Liotta like voiced it, and he
Yeah.
just like never ever talked about it that much, like ever. He's like, oh yeah, like I don't know, people like brought it up to me later. They're like, that's so sick you did that, and I was like, cool. Like it was just not even a big deal to them.
Yeah.
Like it didn't register to him at all because
He
he
didn't
was
give a
like,
fuck. He was in fucking Goodfellas.
Yeah.
He doesn't give a shit about video games.
He was
R.I.P.
like, I guess it's cool. I guess it was a cool thing I did. Like,
Yeah, if you guys think it was neat, I guess it was neat. Cool.
It's always so fun when you go to some of these actors that were like iconic voices in video games or whatever. They're always so fucking surprised to see like how much of a frenzy like the fan base is over it. Or, you know, they just
Right.
love their shit, and when they love something, they love it hard, and when they hate it, equally hard.
Right.
yeah.
Because video games don't have the same level of like clout around them. Like
Yeah.
there are like the Game Awards, but it's not like the same as like the Oscars and the Emmys and all that shit
Not
or whatever.
even
It's
close,
just
yeah.
you know. So you said when you were growing up, you were playing a lot of JRPGs.
Yeah.
What kind of games were you into? And did you play them in French?
Yeah, I did play them in
Hell yeah.
French. Yeah.
Was translation like pretty good for a lot of these games? Where like, cause like I know a lot of these JRPGs, at least back in the day, like had terrible English translations or horrible English voice acting or whatever. I don't even think about like, yeah, what's that like in French, dude?
Honestly, it's corny. It's so cringe.
I bet. Yeah.
It is so cringe. And so like the problem with France is like we like as a country will never leave anything in its original language. Everything's dubbed. So like, even a majority of like famous Americans movies that I've watched like dub in French when I
Right.
was young, and now I'm like a lot of them I'm rewatching in English. You know.
That's so funny.
And it's just so cringe. So American to French already is pretty cringy, but like Japanese to French is just next level fucking cringe.
I can imagine.
But I have my theory on that. I never watched, like, I watch anime a lot too also, and like I play video games a lot, but I never, if anything is meant to be in Japanese, I'll always watch it or play it in Japanese because it's like a language that is like what they do is so corny, but in Japanese it's not. But the
Right.
second you make it in English or in French, then it becomes the most cringy, the power of friendship thing, you know?
Yeah, well, dude, it's like I was watching Hunter or Hunter x Hunter.
Yeah.
And I love Japanese. So good. So amazing. But then they were coming out with the English dub, and I'm like, okay, let's see. And it's like, they sound like they're 8. And I'm like, dog, they're supposed to be like 14, 15. They're not supposed to sound 8. Like, I didn't sound like that at 14, 15, like, at all. Like, I didn't sound like a fucking 8-year-old. Like,
And it's like the themes is just like, and you will forever be my friend, and together we will conquer the enemy. And you're like, oh my god! It's like, but like in Japanese, you're like, let's go, let's fucking get him, boys.
yeah. They're like,
No.
you will forever be my friend.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we
Like-
will conquer. Like, yeah.
Like, and he meant that. You
yeah.
know?
No, they say
Yeah.
that shit with their chest over there.
They do. Like we just don't have the same capacity of
Yeah.
making these cringy ass like lines sound cool. Like we just can't. You know,
Dude.
and that's fine.
And I think it was probably just a large part of that, especially for video games, is like just not having the budget or the giving a shit about like having good English dubs or whatever.
Yeah. When I think back, I think about like Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah.
Like Kingdom Hearts French dub. Like it will make you question like your mental capacity. You know, you're like, if I'm playing this cringy, like, am I 6-year-old? Like, what am I doing? You know?
Yes. God, that sounds like a fever dream. Like, imagine showing that to like a French soldier from like World War One. It's like this is
what
the
they're doing.
future.
Like, this is what they like now.
Yeah.
Man. Is there any like cool stuff that you grew up, like any dope movies or shows or stuff that you grew up on that's like French that you could recommend to people, or think people should know more about? I mean, I know you'd have to probably watch it with subtitles and stuff, but
I'm out. No.
Let me think. There's like this one of the like most iconic movies back when I was young. It's called this movie called La Haine, which I don't know what it's called in English, but it means hatred, and just like about a bunch of like hood kids who they're just bored, they don't really know what to do, and they just go on a night out, and it just kind of ends poorly, you know. So that was like a really like famous hood movie for us. What is like they made a really good a good like series of 2 movies about this famous French robber. He was like a famous like he pulled like a lot of heists. He kidnapped some journalists, some politicians, and some like CEOs and shit. And he was basically called like public enemy number 1 in France.
Whoa.
And I think it's called his name is Jacques, so Jacques, Merine, Mesrine. And so that was like back in the 80s or something like that. And he was like a real character. And he kind of trying to make it seem like he was like a political figure or whatever. He was just really a fucking gangster, you know? Mm-hmm. But,
wait, so this is the actual historical guy, or it's just like...
So like the movie, it's like a movie, you know.
Right,
it's
right.
like a fiction. It's fictionalized a
Right,
little
right,
bit,
right.
but like
Takes some-
it's based on the true story of the guy, which ended by him getting like shot by the cops, kind of like
Spoilers.
Pablo Escobar style. Like he just got like riddled with bullets, and it's a pretty good movie if you ever have time to check it out. Yeah.
hell yeah. Well, dude, hey, speaking of riddled with bullets, bro, we were talking a second ago about one of the stories from this week,
know
though,
where
too.
you're going
Just
with this.
totally.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you have it pulled up there, but apparently there was a cop in Florida. Thank you for the suggestions, by the way, too. That's some heat. But
give me like 2 seconds.
That transition was too good. I could not pass it up, bro, to transition into the story like that. So yeah, a cop apparently, whatever, they're doing some kind of stop, and then he hears an acorn fall in his car. So he drops to the ground and says that he's under fire, and he unloads the whole clip into the thin air at nothing at an acorn. We got the footage pulled up right here too, so viewer discretion advised.
What kind of fire did he think he was under, though?
Oh, wait.
That's my question. You know what I mean?
Forest fire.
Let's see. Yeah, forest fire. Yeah. Let's see.
God damn it.
Shout out to Bella. Thank you. Hi, Bella. Hi, Taba.
What's up, y'all?
Shots fired! Shots fired! Shots fired! Shots fired! You know.
Bro.
I'm hit!
Bro's LARPing.
This had to be a...
I'm here!
Oh my god, dude.
Through the car! Oh!
America's
They got
finest.
the second. No, keep it playing. They
Wait,
got
no.
a second angle.
For anyone who's not like actively watching the videos, a Florida sheriff's deputy mistook the sound of an acorn hitting his vehicle for a gunshot and fired at the SUV where a handcuffed black man was sitting.
Dude, what the fuck though? You know what I mean? I didn't even hear anything on the video. You know what I mean? So it's not like it was a loud like, bah! Like it wasn't like a firework or nothing. Here, let's see the second angle here. We got a second angle.
Tag number off the top of your head. Okay, it's okay.
Even they're like, what the fuck?
What? What? Oh! Where? Right there?
What?
Jesse, are you okay? Get in the house! Get in the house! Jesse! Get back! Where is he? Where is he?
Nowhere, girl.
43, give me traffic. Shots fired. I got a deputy down.
What the hell?
Holy fuck, the incompetence,
Come
man.
back.
Like,
Mark vehicle right there.
God, they got the whole squad.
I know
out
that
too.
you already know that means 10 fucking cops pulled up after, bro.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
That's crazy, dude.
Dude.
So like the worst part about this one is that they stopped this guy, right, and they handcuffed him in the back of that SUV, and then he came back to his car to like do the paperwork, right, and then fill the accord and start shooting and all that shit. But it's like they shoot at the guy in the car who's in handcuffs sitting
my
on the
God.
back seat. So it's like logically it doesn't even make sense for him to shoot. You just handcuffed that guy like 2 minutes ago.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well, it's like, what is this fool got fucking shell shock or something, bro? Like he has, like I don't know, like, or you just can't be that big of a bitch. I can't imagine being that big of a bitch, bro. Like where it's like,
Really, bro? A cop with undiagnosed mental illness?
yeah, who would fucking know
Come
about
on,
that?
be real.
Let's be realistic here. Yeah, come on.
She said I got hit.
It's like, bro, it's been 30 seconds, man. Like, you know if you're hit.
Well, that's the thing too. It's like, yeah, if you get hit, it's like, dog, you're
You're
not
hit.
gonna be. Yeah.
You're like, I think it was a 22. I don't know.
It's like a delayed, like, bullet thing. Yeah,
Right.
It hurts later.
Well, bro,
wild,
and
dude.
he emptied the whole clip. Like you never see that where it's like a cop empties just like the whole clip. Like what the fuck, dude? Like
okay, you know how I was saying earlier is like the bit about the cheapest way to, or the quickest way to make a lot of money is to just interact with the cops. Like the person whose vehicle was in front of the cop car, they didn't even have to interact with them, and they're just like immediately getting a payout for the damages to their vehicle. I'm sure.
Are you good? Okay.
Crazy though.
Well, dude, like the fact is that his homegirl was down the side of fire and he's just letting it rip. Like that's insane, bro. Like even for a dumbass cop, that's fucking stupid. Like, yo, like what the fuck? He resigned, by the way, so fuck him. But
Probably for the best.
yeah, I mean, honestly, frankly, too, those people who were talking to the other cop should sue too, because it's like, yo, what the fuck? Like this fool opened fire on me over some random shit, you know?
Acorns, man.
Acorns, bro. Fuck. That's what you call busting a nut.
Yeah.
Oh man, cool. Well, yeah, like I said, I just couldn't pass up that fucking transition, man. You know?
The South Park meme.
Oh
dude.
yeah, pull it up.
Oh
pull it
God,
up.
it's coming right towards us. Hell yeah. That's insane, dude.
How would they predict that?
Crazy
Dude.
shit.
Yeah, it's fucking. By the way, guys, happy President's Day.
Oh yeah,
actually.
Quentin, who's your favorite American politician?
My
Living
favorite
or dead?
American politician. Like maybe Bernie Sanders, probably the one I have the least problems with.
Right.
Let's put it
But-
that way.
But who's your
Yeah.
favorite as a character? Like favorite to make fun of? Or...
As a character, that's a tough one, man. I mean, there's got to be Trump, right? Like,
it's too easy.
no
It's
one
too-
can do it like him. You
No.
know? It's just like if it was a TV show where the president was Donald Trump, I would buy the fucking DVD collection of every single
Yeah,
season.
no, exactly. Right.
Like,
Dude, it's that's what I have to explain to people sometimes. It's like, no, I don't like a certain person, but I like that they exist. And I like that it's a real thing. Like, and I get to witness that.
Is that
like,
Shane Gillis? Like, I don't know, you guys
Yeah.
watch
Oh,
Shane
yeah,
Gillis
yeah, yeah.
special, but you know, that's just what he says. Is like no one even comes close in terms of just sheer comedy. You know, he should
Yeah.
have been a comic. He
Yeah.
should have been doing roasts and shit.
No,
because-
he's literally doing stand-up at
they-
his rallies.
They put they put like the Seinfeld theme under like his rally, and it's like just perfect.
Oh my God! Speaking of presidents doing stand up, RFK is doing like a stand up tour now.
That's right,
Is he?
with like Bobby
Yeah.
Lee and shit. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm pretty sure fucking dude, I think it's like Bobby Lee. I want to say like, was it Theo? Yeah, I forget, dude. Hold up, let me look it up.
yeah. That's
I mean,
a,
he's not president yet, but
I mean,
Right, but
that's
he's like doing a
first,
campaign thing.
presidential
No, and
candidate.
I think
fucking doing a comedy show.
I think Tim Dillon's on. I'll be honest,
Tim Dillon is gonna be
Yeah.
on. I'm sorry, I totally just spat in your direction.
Oh,
but-
Tim Dillon. I fucking love Tim Dillon.
dude. He's the best.
Yeah, just real quick while he's pulling that up to you, who are some of your favorite comics right now?
Definitely. I fuck with Tim Dillon. I fuck with Yanis Papas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yanni.
Bill Burr's having a little bit of a socialist awakening. I fuck with that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's like maybe not socialist, but like he's just kind of like, hey, this capitalism shit, it's a little fucked up, right? Like, and people are like, oh, Bill Burr, we thought you were one of us, you know? And I'm like, no, he's one of us now.
Oh shit, dude.
Yeah, definitely those guys. I fucked with Chingulas. His special just had me dying. Yeah, of the moment, those are definitely the ones I've been watching a lot. And then, yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Of recent memory.
Well, shit, man. I mean, those are all people that the Zudes are fans of too. So right on in, bro. Perfect guest
100%.
spot, bro. I appreciate it, bro. I appreciate you, bro. Like, yeah,
Dude, it was a pretty good lineup, honestly. He's got fucking Bobby Lee, fucking Tim Dillon,
Rob Schneider, bro.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Rob Schneider,
the animal.
Yeah, Adam Carolla. Because I mean, Rob Schneider's more of like a kind of like sort of like swings more like libertarian, kind of conservative, kind of. RFK is very interesting, man. I think
He's definitely bringing like a lot of like.
Weirdos together.
Yeah, a lot of weirdos together. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
though, you know what I
man.
mean. You need because I always said I'm like, bro, I'm a candidate person. I'm not a party person. I'm like, if I like a candidate, whatever. I mean, that's more the vibe. You know what I mean? If they really feel like something's gonna at least get shaken up, you know, like I don't like to stick to whatever's like safe, like in terms of voting. Like even if it's, I don't know, like so RFK. I think at least culturally, like this is an important thing to do, to be like there can be like a political candidate that like normal ass motherfuckers can get behind, where it's all like, oh no, you're gonna say crazy shit like big pharma companies are bad and the FBI is corrupt and the CIA needs to be defunded. Oh no, government has too much power. What a fucking insane idea, It's like
It like at least we all know they're never gonna win.
Right,
but it's nice that it shakes up the fucking scene a little bit.
right. Well, I mean, you even said too, like Bernie Sanders is like, I mean, not to be like that, but it's like he wasn't realistically gonna win, but it's like the impact he's had, like for sure, has kind of shaped a lot of the discourse for the past fucking,
I mean, he was like a Democrat, and who knows? You know what I mean? He could have fucking done something.
Yeah.
But when they started seeing the numbers coming for Bernie, Obama just like got off his jet ski and was like called the other candidates and basically told them to drop.
Right.
And they all went behind Biden. So we'll never know, but that's America, man.
We said too.
Well,
though,
and he kind of just dropped. Oh, go ahead.
well, also I was about to say the same thing about.
He kind of just dropped
like-
out and kind of just
He
let
knew.
Biden take it.
He knew it. was like the call has been made. Obama came out of his vacation and he was like, all right, we all had fun and all that, but it's over now.
Let's hear you talk shit about Obama. What you got to say about Obama?
I love Obama, but like my man didn't come out of 4 years of Trump presidency, didn't say nothing, and then the presidential like election shows up, Bernie Sanders looking a little too good in the polls, and then all of a sudden he's like, oh, like here am I, here I am, and it'd be really nice if you got behind Biden,
Well,
and
you see,
people did it,
I think that even if it was like they should have just gone all in on Bernie, and that way they could have been like, well, like even if things don't go their way or whatever, they're like, wow, it's the radical like they could have blamed it on him. At least with Biden, they're just like, you just put someone fucking asleep behind the wheel,
Yeah.
like
Well,
you know what I mean, like the safest person, like
well, for them, I think they were just like scared that he might win more than anything
that
else
too,
anyway.
and they can't keep a leash on him. Yeah,
And because
But clearly they kind of could keep a lead. That's the thing. Like because like that, I think Bernie Sanders was the first person that I actually voted for. Like when he was doing in the primary, and I was like young, like kind of. Yeah, a couple years out of high school, getting in college, I was like, yeah, I want more. I was like, I'm making minimum wage. I want a little bit more money.
that was our first big election, by the way, too, because we graduated 2016, so it was like
We just
missed
missed
the
off on
2012
the-
one, and yeah,
Yeah,
so-
I just missed my chance to vote for Gary Johnson in 2012. Whatever, but
a fucking idiot doesn't even know where Aleppo is. Fuck Gary Johnson. No, what was the one libertarian chick who got bit by a bat?
What?
One of the libertarian candidate in 2016, she got bit by a bat. Or
Joe
20, no, in 2020,
Jorgensen?
yeah, 2020. She got
Was it Joe Jorgensen
Yeah, she
did?
got bit by a bat in her attic. Yeah.
Well, dude, speaking of libertarians though, like that's what you know Dave Smith from Legion of Skanks.
No, I don't.
Okay, he's like just the Gas Digital in general. It's like Louis J. Gomez and Big J. Oxen and Dave Smith, right? And Dave Smith, he's a funny comic, but he's definitely a pretty big like libertarian kind of guy, right? And he had RFK on his podcast a couple times, and the first time he was on the podcast, they were agreeing on everything. They were like, it was a lot of like common ground in terms of like, yeah, it's like all these fucking talking about all the pesticide companies and all the stuff and the schmackines and all that kind of stuff, right?
I think that's where he fucked himself, the vaccine.
I think it was, partially that. I think that's like 50-50 with
Right.
But I mean, if anyone's gonna talk shit about that, like it's him. Like he's written like books on the thing. Like he's not just like
right.
He's not like flying by the seat of his pants, like just I don't like him, or he's like been looking into it for a long time, but so I gotta give him credit, at least where credit's due. I haven't like read any of his stuff really on it. I've seen like his Rogan appearance, I was like, that's interesting. But then the second time that Dave Smith had him on the podcast, it was after he said a bunch of stuff about Israel, right? And RFK like kind of comes out like very like pro-Israel, and he's like, well, we have to
his voice,
Benjamin.
Dude, that's why I was shocked when you guys said he's on the stand-up tour. I'm like, It sounds like his voice is on its last fucking leg, dude. Like,
he's gotten a little bit better.
He's gonna have to be throwing up gang signs soon, bro. You know what I'm saying, bro?
But the thing about RFK was like, I was like, is his Zionism a genuine feeling in his heart, or is it like I'm like, blink twice if they're gonna fucking you know what I'm saying? Like
he's definitely got reasons to be scared, right? Like, I mean, his
the government
family
killed his
has
whole
like
family.
a bad tendency to disappear in tragic circumstances.
Boating accidents.
Plane explosions.
Like bullets to the head, that kind of thing.
I'm pretty sure like we covered one of the Kennedy deaths on the podcast like a couple years ago. Even.
Which one? There's so many.
There was like some like niece or something. She was like in her 20s and died in a weird boating accident.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, exactly.
Yeah.
It's
They're always like vehicular. Yeah,
dude, it's crazy, man. I don't know. I think he's an interesting guy, but I don't know. I'm not really particularly into any of the candidates. I think my problem ultimately with Bernie became like he kind of just bowed out when they gave him the nod. They're like, it's time to go, because ultimately he's trying to preserve the Democratic Party that he's a part of. It's like he wasn't gonna risk it all.
He fell in line, like
Yeah, he should have leaned into being like a mean old piece of shit, bro.
He's got nothing to lose, dude. What has he got? Fucking, whoa, he might lose one of his summer homes in Vermont or whatever.
He might lose a left nut.
Well,
they'll take it from him. They'll take it.
You guys were talking about RFK's Joe Rogan appearance, and Bernie had actually done the Rogan podcast, and I think a lot of people among Republicans and the right wing saw him and were like, actually, I like a lot of what this guy is saying, and I think a lot of people just didn't realize really what he was fighting for, and I think, it was starting to resonate a little bit, but that's just kind of how it works, when they've decided who's going to win, then everybody got to kind of like fall in line, otherwise Trump and all that, so...
It's a trip, man.
Who is they? We were asking this last week because we were watching like the Putin interview with Tucker Carlson. He's like, oh yeah, we don't understand American politics, 50 states, all this stuff. And I'm like, you know what? I really do wonder who is they at the end of the day. It's Obama.
Billionaires, man.
Fucking
yeah,
man,
well, it's the fucking there's like committees and shit where it's all like, oh yeah, we're the committee in interest of XYZ, and they really mean that it's
the
like
Trilateral Commission.
Yeah, no, exactly. It's like big companies. I mean, why do you think, we talked briefly about the Zyn ban, where it's like, why do you think they're pushing for the Zyn ban, bro? It's because fucking, nobody's gonna be smoking cigs no more because you could just take fucking nicotine to the fucking dome now. Like, we're in the future, baby. Cigarettes are outdated. Like
they had it Metal Gear Solid.
Can you show them how cigarettes are outdated, bro?
I mean, even I know. I'm fucking 15-year smoker, and I give up cigarettes about like 3 or 4 years. And I've got to say, I'm even worse now.
And that
I smoke even more.
And you're French. Giving up cigarettes is like me giving up beer as a Mexican.
dude.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
That's like you giving up tahini.
yeah, for real.
Like the first couple years when I switched to vaping, I'd go back to France and all my friends call me a bitch.
Yeah.
And now
They called
I
called you a baguette.
yeah. And now I go home and who do I see smoking their vapes? Except their
Whoa,
shit.
whoa.
But like I learned actually, so in the amount of nicotine they put in the vapes in France, it's limited to like 0.18 milligram, like 18 milligram, I think. In America, it's 40.
Oh yeah,
So-
America.
So our vapes are twice
yeah.
as strong.
That's what I'm
dude.
saying. But it's
Yeah.
like they're trying to make it like, oh, fucking adults don't like flavors.
Yeah.
Like,
well, we can't have pineapple
I
fucking
like
vape, dude.
I like cotton candy. I'm not 12.
I mean, it's hard to argue that like they're not fucking aiming for the kids when you look at the packaging and like you know, like
Well,
the flume, bro. Like,
And I would rather have them smoke. I'd rather have them vaping, and I'd rather have them do it in the comfort of my own home, where I know they're safe. Like the cool, like
the cool mom, the cool
party mom. Be like,
parents,
well,
yeah.
if you guys are gonna vape, make sure you just do it at my place. I don't want to, you know. I don't-
make sure you don't take anything citrusy. It's bad for your throat.
Right. Yeah.
Go more for strawberry or something. No, but like seriously, I bought one of these Flume ones around December, around the holidays, and they had the fucking Christmas packaging on it. I don't know if you guys saw that, but they had like a blue version that had like a little Christmas hat on it. It had a little card with like twinkle stars and everything. I was like, this is so cute. If you weren't selling my biggest addiction in the world,
Right.
like I know this shit will get you addicted for life. you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
And you're like, for Christmas, why not 40 milligram of nicotine right in your fucking chest?
Right. That's like this, yeah. That's the same as Pornhub, where it's just like,
Right.
Happy St. Patrick's Day from us at Pornhub.
Brothers is free for 2 weeks.
yeah. We're pushing the algorithm a little bit more towards redheads for this week only.
Well, you know, I mean, it's just like that whole South Park fucking special they just did where they're like, look, we're not technically supposed to market to underage people. But it's like the biggest open secret in the whole industry, you know?
right,
And,
of course.
The
so
Prime energy drinks, or
yeah,
whatever
the
it was making
Prime
fun of.
energy drinks, bro. Or what did he call them? The Cred, bro. On the show is
yeah.
called the Cred. The Cred energy drink. You gotta have some Cred, bro.
I never got into energy drinks, you know, but I
good.
feel like
Stay away.
I just have enough addictions, you know.
Yeah.
Like I think my roster's full already, so you
Yeah,
know,
man.
maybe if I kick nicotine, you know, maybe I'll try energy drinks.
Well, let me tell you, a NOS and a cigarette. Whew.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
I've been seeing TikToks of people doing that little combo, dude. I might give it a shot.
It kind of rules. It tastes like freedom, for sure.
Is it kind of like a little cheap cocaine like substitute?
You
I believe that's called Adderall.
you just can't trust the AO these days, so you gotta make do.
Oh yeah, you know, no fentanyl in my drink. Yeah, I'll tell you that.
That's true. Man, yeah, no, that's crazy, man, because it's like the regulations have gone too far. It's like the fucking New York, I mean, because isn't that Chuck Schumer is like the senator in New York that was trying to ban the Zins? Like they're trying to ban Zins
More like suck Schumer.
That's pretty
Took you a while to get there.
I was trying to think
We're
of
quick.
something last second.
Yeah.
Suck Poomer. There we go. I don't know.
Also,
I feel like it still lands regardless.
Here's my conspiracy theory.
Let's hear it.
Is that, you know, when you start putting bans on nicotine products and stuff like that, then it's easy to tell people like, see, you got too much fucking regulation. You're like, yeah, we don't like regulation. And they're like, all right, so now we can fucking pour chemicals in your drinking water.
Right.
That is a whole thing. No, because there's like, you know, they want it to be like the capitalists love laissez-faire capitalism.
Right.
And it's also too where it's like, remember how they were like, oh, defund the police. It's like, okay, yeah, defund the police. And then it's like, you defund the police and it's like, they don't reform anything. They don't make anything better.
right.
It's just, oh, we're giving them less money. And so it's like, all right, now it has to actually get worse because there's less money. Like, so you got to be careful with your words, I feel like, almost these days, because there's a lot of that where I feel like catchy little slogans kind of get big and then people start repeating catchy little slogans. And it's like, no, like you need some specific language here, man. Like, because throughout history, bro, like when it comes to legislation, it's all about the words. It's all about the devil's in the details, you know? And that's exactly how they get you, you know, where it's like, yeah, just deregulate, and then it's like, fuck.
Which, like, defund the police, there's not a single police department that got less money following that campaign. Like, you know, that never happened.
Right.
Actually, cops actually stopped working just under the threat of getting less budget,
Right.
and crime basically remain unchanged. So.
Yeah. We got to get all these fucking acorns off the street.
Way less acorns though.
Yeah.
I mean, fuck, bro. Homie who fucking flipped out was probably getting pretty nice his paycheck. You know, I mean, that place looked nice.
Well, he's probably gonna get some of his pension.
Well, they don't.
Severance packages, you know.
Yeah, exactly. He resigned. That's the best part. He resigned. It's
They
like,
don't-
oh, how gracious of you. Like, they didn't even do him the honor of fucking firing him.
I know. You unload a clip in the middle of the street and they don't even fire you, bro. Like,
Nah, his union rep probably gave him a call. They're like, it's time to turn in your badge, buddy. I think just resign, take the high road, you know.
yeah.
We'll hire you in 2 towns, like 20 miles north, and you'll be all right.
Right.
Every time.
See, that's the rub with unions and stuff. You're like, yeah, I want like workers, get to pay their fair share and all this stuff. But then it's like, man, it's like the police unions and the fucking even the teachers unions and stuff. Like they get a little carried away, dude. Sometimes.
Well, there's a rule among like union supporters that like there shouldn't be no such thing as a cop union. Like
Right.
basically because cops are not workers, they're enforcers. You know?
Right, yeah, that's true.
I will say, in some ways, I do think that being a cop is the ultimate form of customer service. In some ways, because
For who?
It's the most trying.
for the your boss is the state, that's for sure. But think about it. People call the cops because they want somebody to come in and like it's like calling the manager immediately. I don't know. I'm just bullshitting, but
No, I feel you. It's like a problem that they couldn't solve by themselves, obviously, so they had to call somebody else in to fucking
yeah.
mediate.
So you're expecting
Yeah.
somebody to come in and like provide a service to mitigate a situation, and it's like it's
With a gun.
with a gun. Yeah, exactly. It's like, dude, that's the problem. Because if anybody knows anything, they know that customer service workers are insane.
Right.
So it's like it's the highest form of customer service with the people who are least incentivized to be nice.
I mean, that only really applies to when someone actually calls the cops on someone else. Because it's like, what are you gonna do? I mean, like for example, like. When I was hanging out at Sarah's house, and there was just like there was like this homeless dude that just came out.
your violent zombie attack, bro.
Dude, there was this homeless guy that was outside of her house. Like it was like a rainy night, it was late night, and it's like a duplex where it's like on the second floor, right? This was like right around Halloween too, so it was extra spooky, and so it's got like a staircase with like an outer deck area by the front door, and so this homeless dude comes up, starts like knocking on, like banging on the door, like banging on the door, and starts like jostling the handle, and we're like, hello, like did someone wrong address, I don't know, maybe they didn't, maybe this is like just some drunk person,
Right.
I found the wrong house or whatever, no biggie, and then starts like coughing, like just
They do.
yeah, they do. Yeah, and he's got kennel cough, and fucking bro just has, I'm not even shitting you, he has a blankie and a straight up pillow, and posts up, lays down directly outside of the door. Like if you open the door, you just hit his head. Like his head is on the pillow on the doormat in front of the
catch
fucking
that
door.
warm draft from under the door.
Yeah. And so it's like in that situation, I was like, fuck, dude, I'm at a girl's house. She doesn't have a baseball bat or a golf
about a
club
gun?
or yeah. And I was like, we're in California. But
You're not allowed to have guns out here. It's crazy, bro. They just passed a new law. Totally random, totally sidetracking the conversation. But you can't have like a gun within like a fucking, I'm pretty sure it's like, it might be like I forgot, it was something crazy. I think like a mile radius of a school or something. And so it's like, technically it's like, say my parents' house is like right next to the school or whatever back there. You can't even like take your shit out the door, basically, like so. Yeah, that's
you
a
can't
whole
have
thing
a gun within a mile radius of a school, but
Something
there's a
like
school
that.
every fucking mile.
something like
What are the
that. I'm
cops
pretty
gonna
sure.
do?
That doesn't
They're
apply
gonna
to them.
freak out when an acorn hits their
shit.
car.
Yeah.
But anyways, it's like, but at that point, I was like, I guess we call the cops. And they showed up like, probably 20 minutes later or whatever. And they just like shine the light on the guy. They're like, buddy, you got to go. And like we were looking out the door, like what's going on? Because it's kind of like frosted glass. You can't see like outside the front exactly. But we saw all these lights blinking or whatever. And I was like, what is this? Like a lost raver that's like drunk? And then it was like, and then Sarah was like, no, that's my hula hoop outside. It was like an LED hula hoop. And I was like, what? Bro's fucking getting down on the hula hoop outside.
You're just trying to stem himself.
And then
to sleep, bro.
the cop comes and then he's like, is this your hula hoop, buddy? No. Okay, you're gonna have to put that back. All right, I'm gonna ask you to get on downstairs. He handled it well. I will say. I was like, please don't fucking beat the fuck out of this guy, but like, also get him the fuck out of here. But it's like that is in that particular instance, that was a customer service incident.
Situation.
Yeah.
No, I feel you. And like obviously you need police everywhere.
Yeah.
I think it's just like the way it is here is just like police, but like there's like we were saying earlier, like there's no police like American police, dude.
Hey,
like I've never met like a cop I liked here.
And and that's fair enough. No, because I remember, dude. Oh my god.
I actually ended up in jail like a month after I moved here.
Whoa.
For public intoxication. I didn't know. It's actually one of the jokes I do on stage a lot. Is that in France, no matter how much you hate the police, if you're drunk and you lost in the streets and you ask the cops for help, they're obligated to get you home. So like they'll actually put you in the car.
So it's free Uber with an angry man.
Yeah, like it's like a last resort. You know what I mean? But like the cops will at a minimum like give you directions on how to get home. Right. And so I was in Santa Barbara for Halloween, and I didn't have a smartphone back then. It was like back in 2011, and I was asking everybody for how to get to this address, and everybody's fucking wasted. No one could give me directions. So I see a bunch of cops, and I'm like, well, I'm sure these fine gentlemen will see me home safely, And I had a couple drinks, I had a few vodkas or whatever, so I smelled like alcohol. And that was my first month in America. My accent thick as fuck, you know? So like I go asking them for directions, and
they're like, he's a spy.
and they're like, get the fuck out of here, buddy. And I'm like, dude, you don't understand. I've been asking people for 30 minutes for directions. I don't know where to go. Like, can you just point me in the right direction? He's like, sir, it's obvious you've been having a few drinks tonight. I think you're gonna spend the night in jail. And I'm like, oh, what the fuck? And I'm like, I'm French. Like, I have my French ID on me. I'm not slurring my words. Like,
then you're definitely.
This is my accent. And so he like shoved me in the car, and then he goes like, have a good night in jail, you fucking croissant.
That's a lawsuit, bro.
Whoa, dude.
Lawsuit.
That's crazy.
And so I ended up the night in a drunk tank on Halloween night. Everybody in costumes and shit. It was like one of those big rooms that like.
Were you in costume?
Yeah.
What was your costume?
Like, so I had traded my costume with a chick I was trying to hit on that night. So I was literally wearing like little fucking fairy wings. and so they gave me a court date and all that. And
you walk up to the cops, you're like, bonjour.
They're like, beat it, fairy.
Oh my god.
And so they gave me a court date and whatnot. And so like this American student was kind of like my mentor, like at the college I was going, called the court, said, the guys made racist comments and all this and all that, and they said, all right, we'll drop the charges. And so they never pushed the charges. But now for the next, so I don't have American citizenship. I'm on a green card. And to this day, whenever I travel, I have to go in the second examination room with all the suspected terrorists.
Oh my god!
So they can inspect my paperwork.
Because
so they can check your booty hole.
Because of a fucking like drunk like moment 12 years ago now. And the guy's like, well, that shouldn't trigger like an alarm in my system on the federal level or whatever. I'm like, you fucking tell me, buddy. Right. Like, I'm not running the police database here, And I'm like, actually, since you bring it up, is there a way for me to purge that off my record? Because for 12 years, I've been like stopped every time.
So what you're saying is you're an international criminal.
Like, I'm on some lists.
Yeah.
Like, I'm on some list. And I asked him if I can get off that list. And he's like, never. I'm like, alrighty, then never mind.
Okay.
So
Yeah, I guess we got some chats too. I
Oh,
guess
what's
real
up,
quick.
yo?
Let's see what's up with some chats here. Some
Cool if
chat
I
chat.
snag a beer real quick as well.
Yeah, there's one left here.
Oh, we
It's only one beer left.
appreciate you.
Hell yeah. The Zudes love a French dude.
Who's that? Who is that? It doesn't say their
Wait,
name.
hold on, let me pull up the bigger pop out here.
Or
Hold
is
on,
it just a blank name YouTube?
Yeah, it
username?
just doesn't
I don't
say
know.
their name. Hey, you love a French dude? I guess.
Yeah, there's
What's
a
up,
fucking
M?
shout out Sarah in the chat. Oh yeah, she tuned in at during the homeless story. Yeah.
Who's M? Reveal yourself. Tell us who you are. M.
Why are you invisible?
I know. How do you not have a name? Shit.
That's crazy.
All right, we're in the home stretch here. We got 10 minutes left. I wanted to ask you, Quentin, do you like the movie Shrek?
I love the movie Shrek. Yeah.
Yeah. How do you feel about Shrek? Tell us your Shrek life experience. Do you believe that Shrek is love and Shrek is life?
I wouldn't go that far. When Shrek came out,
Let's
I was,
fucking end this right now.
when Shrek came out, I think I was still pretty young. I forgot when that came out. So it was like I was like too old to be a young audience member, but like not old enough to watch Shrek. Ironically, you know what I mean? So I'm pretty neutral. Like good animation movie. You know, great source of memes.
Yeah.
Great-
April 22nd, 2001. It was one of the last great pre 9/11.
2001.
films
I
of
was
American
11
cinema.
actually.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh, so you're born in 1990?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
you're the
right.
same age as my brother.
Right on.
Yeah,
Shout out to you, brother. 90s kids.
Nah, he's cool. He's cool. He's cool.
Shout out, Serge.
I'm missing some lore here.
No. Don't get him started. Give him a couple of more 805s. He'll tell you about his brother.
I love my brother.
Is that what you were gonna ask? Is just about Shrek?
Yeah, I don't know.
What about Shrek 2, dude?
What do you think about Shrek?
I think that Shrek is an icon. Shrek is a very motivating figure for us. And I think we've become, again, people have kind of leaned back into Shrek so ironically that it doubles back to being unironic again because it is just a solid animated movie. They don't make
It
them
is
like
solid.
that anymore, because it is meant to be entertaining for kids and for just their parents so that they're not watching a piece of shit, And Shrek 2 fire, like there's just so many layers to it. It's kind of like Dark Souls.
In what way? Explain to me. I was like,
There's dragons and there's knights and there's fire and there's lava.
That's not enough, dude.
It's like I got a friend who calls every video game that has like a stamina bar. It's like it's kind of like Dark Souls.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
like,
a running
"It's
joke, bro."
There's a little more than that.
That's every game that we play.
It's a Souls like. It's
Right.
an action game. Calm down.
All right, what's your Souls build looking like though? Are you a Dex user? Are you a filthy Dex user? What's
You know, like I always like all the games I play. I'll play a rogue or a thief or something like that. But like,
so you are a filthy Dex user?
I'm not actually. But when it comes to Souls likes, I never play Dex. Actually, I'm more of a quality build. So like half STR, half Dex.
Yeah.
Not magic. That's for pussies.
Ooh,
I mean,
fair.
if you play a Souls game, like it's always like the cheated. Oh, you killed a boss in 40. It's like, why are you even playing this game? You know what I mean?
Right.
Then just go play Civilizations. Then if you just want to plan all day,
Right.
how to win the thing in 3 clicks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's my opinion.
right.
But-
Really?
Finally, somebody says it though. It's true.
You like the mano y mano kind of?
Yeah, like I like a fucking 2-handed katana. Like that's kind of that's where I sit.
Yeah.
You know.
All right. Respect. That's kind of a Dex weapon though.
No, but 2-handed is like it's STR Dex.
Yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I mean?
Yeah, no, I got you. Hell yeah. Yeah, sure, bro.
Silently judges.
All right, bro. Sure.
Well, what do you play? What do you play?
I did beat Elden Ring as it was magic and Dex. It was intelligence and Dex. So I beat the last boss with the 2-hand katana, like
Alright.
chasing it down on Elden Ring.
I was
And,
doing a dual wield 2-handed bleeding swords, so
Yeah.
like, kind of a cheese build also. Like I wasn't very proud of that clear, but like, like I do read, like every time I do a Souls like or something like that, I'll be reading about builds for 2 weeks before I get into it.
Right.
you know?
It's so good. It's so autistic. You know?
I was playing Elden Ring, which I still haven't beat, but I was playing it right when it came out, and then this motherfucker went autistically into fucking Elden Ring, played the fuck out of it.
Oh, dude.
Which, respect. But then I don't know. It's like
How could you not?
everybody's talking shit about me, and it's like, what's like? Oh, bro, you're using bleed damage. You fucking cheating, bro. I was like, it's in the game.
It's kinda cheat,
It's in the
like-
game. It's fucking. I don't know.
It is kind of cheap. You know?
You just don't feel good about it, bro. You just don't feel good about it. You're like, damn.
It don't feel as good.
You're like, I don't think that's how it was supposed to go down.
Yeah, like I felt like that should have been harder.
I think I was supposed to do that 50 more times.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I've been playing. You guys tried Lies of P also.
I played like the demo for it, and I really liked it.
It was good.
Yeah.
That was actually a pretty decent Souls like that. Didn't feel like a rip off of it. So
It's on Game Pass, I think. We should
I
check
believe
it
it
so,
out.
might be
yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good. I liked it. Good storytelling. Good. Just good story. Yeah, it was good. I liked it. I was surprised. I thought it was gonna suck, but it was actually pretty good.
Hell yeah.
One of the best things of the copyright laws or whatever, where like Pinocchio becomes public domain or
Right.
whatever. I'm like, when are we getting the fucking Winnie the Pooh Souls like?
They did a Winnie the Pooh horror movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, hey, you know what I heard? The rumor has it that the sequel or the DLC or something to Lies of P is going to be Wizard of Oz themed.
Whoa.
I did
Yeah.
hear that too.
That's low-key fire. I'm not
That
gonna
could be
lie.
fucking
That could
sick,
get
dude.
real dark. You know.
That could be fucking tight. I've heard the
Yeah.
books.
Is Wizard of Oz public domain?
I think it's getting
If
there.
it's not, it might be soon.
Lewis Carroll,
Fucking
right?
Mickey's is fucking.
No, it's
It's I forget who it is, but it's from like the 20s or 30s. I'm pretty sure, so it's getting there. Like the books are from the 20s or 30s. I mean, the fucking movie takes place in the 20s, you know, so it's like
right. Yeah.
Right.
or the 30s. Yeah, man.
Fuck yeah, looking forward to that.
Hell yeah. Well, shit, you got any shows coming up? Any stuff you want to plug on the way out here? We got about 5 minutes left. The floor is yours.
Yeah,
Words
sure.
for the people. Tell them your communist manifesto.
No, I have a show this Saturday at 8 at the Silver Lining, which is the bar that opened after Luna's closed.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It's like a piano
so,
bar.
So
now.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
A jewel piano bar.
I know. I've heard some interesting things about
Yeah,
that.
oh.
About
I went to
as a musician at least. I don't
So
know.
I went to their first open mic that they did. I think it was like January 20th or something like that. So they had that first open mic, and it was kind of dog shit. Like, it was only comics that like were drinking water and shit, and like the new
Yeah,
owner, you
that's
know,
tough.
like he had like a fully staffed bar. Like he was just like really trying to make like a good impression, you know. And it was like a bunch of degenerate comics drinking water,
Yeah.
or like smoking like cigarettes outside. And they had already like the date of the next open mic on the sign, and
Right.
all the comics outside were like, it's not gonna be on there tomorrow, you know. And then 2 days later, like just like fucking clockwork, they canceled it. They're like, unfortunately, the open mic has come to an end. Though it took 2 days, dude. But that's gonna be like the first comedy show they're gonna be doing over
Nice.
there this Saturday. So hopefully that'll go a little better for me. I mean, I did all right, but like I just hope it's gonna go well, man.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've got that, and then I'm gonna be at Mr. Tequila in March 28th or something like that. So I'll put that on my Instagram.
Nice.
But yeah, I haven't had a chance to book or do a lot of comedy because I was out. I had COVID just before I left too, so I've just been without comedy for the last 3 weeks or so. So I'm gonna be hitting up the mics this week to just get back into it before my show. Yeah.
Hell yeah, man. Well, again, we're super proud to have you come back. You came back to the America and came right
Hell
on
yeah,
the
brother.
Zudecast, bro. Hell yeah, brother. That's what I'm talking about.
You can call me a lot of things, but
Yeah. Yeah, see, we have everybody on the show. Filthy French commie.
No.
you guys are cool as fuck.
Hey, he's a fancy French commie, okay?
No. Bro's got cooler shoes than us. He's got cooler hair.
I'm the least fancy of my friends. Honestly.
that's good.
Yeah, I've been Americanized a little too much in their opinion, you know. But you know, whatever. They'll be there in 5 years.
Join
Hey,
the
man.
dark side.
Well, you're a Zude now, bro. So appreciate
Love
you
it.
again, bro. Some of you want to
Right
hear. Oh yeah, yeah. All right, guys. Well, shit. That has been Zudecast number 107. 107. And I think we're ready to sign off. Later. Thank you to everybody tuned in.
Peace out.
Appreciate y'all.
Thanks, y'all.
Good night.